think they definitely have their pros and cons to them. They're good for the ecosystem on a certain degree, but it's also its downsides. Other people like their gas cars because it's just what they're used to, and they don't want to change their old ways. I would say so. Yeah, just the environment you're in really has a effect on the demand for what kind of car you have, especially the terrain around the where you live. I've heard they have quite a few problems in the wintertime with batteries freezing, along with in the summertime with them overheating. So they could definitely use some fixing, but they seem like they could last a while in given good conditions. I believe long term it probably could be because the amount of money you're spending on gas definitely affects the value of a electric car. I feel like commuting in a bigger city would definitely be easier to own an electric vehicle because there's more charging stations. It's a lot more accessible to charge it as to where places like Moscow probably wouldn't have as many. So, freezing battery or overheating battery. I don't know any other pros and cons, but those are the big ones that I have in mind. The affordability and longevity over time, like the gas, you won't have to pay for gas again because all you have to do is charge the car. Uh, Better for the environment.
I think that it's a good idea, but right now we don't really have the demand for it and we don't have the infrastructure to implement it. And in order for it to work, we need like to switch over to electric cars all at once. So I'm not sure if it would work right now. I do like the idea. Absolutely, obviously, people who live in rural areas consume more gas because they need to drive more. And if we switch to electric vehicles, those will be the hardest places to put in infrastructure like charging stations and things like that. So it may hurt them the most. I don't know too much about them, but I think it could work. I don't know if policy wise anyone's going to support like a mass implementation of hybrid because it's just not really going in any one direction. And I don't know how popular they are just to the consumer. I would probably be more likely to buy an electric vehicle because I would have more charging stations. It would be a lot easier, and I wouldn't have to drive long distances that often where I would be worried about not being able to charge my vehicle. Right now, I just don't think that in the long term they're going to be worth that much because there's not enough demand to actually make electric vehicles happen. So if I buy an electric vehicle and then 10 years from now, people aren't going to be buying electric vehicles. It won't have, the infrastructure's not there, and then the car I have, I won't be able to sell it for anything.